No way. Really? All right. Hey! That'll scare everybody away real quick. Okay, everybody. Woo! It's Friday. Right, Minnie?
Yes.
It's noon. I can see the big watch on the wall. And everybody, that means it's Festool Live. Happy Festool Friday, everybody. We have one heck of a day planned for you. Okay, so let's do the intro really quick. Oh, here we have Christine on the board. We have Krista Unit Seibert on the camera as usual. We have Minnie working the board, and answering your questions is Brent. Woo! The crew is all here. Okay, so Minnie's working the board, and I think everybody might know the name of this episode 166 is My First Festool. You understand the method to my madness as I'm finished with this today. But don't only tell us where you're from, because Minnie's writing like unbelievable, but also tell us what your first Festool was. What was your first tool that you got from Festool? And that would be great. Put that in the comments so people can see that going forward. Okay, so I got to call this out. One more topic. Here in the United States, I don't think this is worldwide, but today is February 2nd, right? And today is what? It's Groundhog's Day. And Puxatawny Phil came out of his hole and he didn't see his shadow. So guess what that means?
Spring's coming.
Spring's coming sooner. But we have our own version of that here in the training center. Okay, I'm going to step over here. And inside the Sustainer, we don't have Puxatawny Phil, but we have Rocky the Squirrel. Squirrel! Woo! Okay, so if it's what, 6 more weeks of winter, Rocky sees what? The track saw. But if it's an earlier spring, he sees the domino. Rocky just saw the domino. Woo! Okay, good. By the way, we have a lot more planned for Groundhog's Day. All right, woo! Okay, so the reason we came up with this topic this week is for all these years, one of the top questions we get, whether at a trade show or in the training center, on the phone, I'm looking at the Festool system, how should I start? Wow, that's a loaded question. So my answer is, you need to buy all of it.
Yes.
Hey, Minnie likes that. All right. Woo! Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Okay. That's the Weisenheimer answer. But the real answer is this. It's a question. What are you doing? What do you need it for? What are you looking to accomplish with a Festool tool? Whether you're sanding, cutting, joining, or you need a new drill. And the reason I put these out there is I'm going to coach you, hopefully, into that right decision. All right, so hear me out. Minnie, what was your first Festool?
ES 125.
Sander. The sander. This one right here. Okay. Chris, what was your first
Cordless
tool?
TS55.
Wow. TS55, was it for you?
My father.
Ooh. All right. His father. That was a nice, was that Christmas present or birthday present?
Christmas.
Wow, man.
Still uses it, loves it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so my first was in 2002 or in the middle of 2002. I purchased very reluctantly, and it took me 6 weeks to decide on it, an ATF 55. That was the one way, way back when, before the TS 55 series came out. And boy, was that a slippery slope. I had no idea. So there's different reasons. I needed it for something I was building in my cabinet shop. Minnie, why'd you buy the sander?
Because I had a CT.
Oh.
I forgot.
Oh.
Dog hair.
You had a dust extractor first. So here's what I'm getting at. I'm going to come over here, and this is what I have seen day in, day out for 17 years. People buy this ETS 125, okay? And they do this. It's a great sander. Kinda. Hear me out. Minnie, you bought it because you had a dust extractor. I am hard pressed recommending a first Festool without combining with the core of the system. It's what we're world renowned for at Festool, is our dust extractors. Okay, my whole life before that, I was sanding and not getting the right results and breathing all of that dust. But you combine that with a dust extractor, and nobody told me this, but I have shown you in the past what this button, Chris, right here. Look, variable suction. So I have it on auto, and I have it all the way up. Look, I'm going to turn it on. And this is a great sander, but listen, it's even better when I lower the suction. I break the surface tension. Okay? So, remember, it's a system. And think about that. Think about, wow, I need a palm sander or a 5-inch random orbit sander. But think forward about making sure you combine that with a dust extractor. And that's the beginning of this. Because if somebody asks, I would say the majority of us Festoolians here, what's the one sander to get? Everybody would go with this. It's the RO150, because this is many tools in one. This is, yes, more expensive than the ETS 125, but it's so much more. You have a random orbit sander, but you also have basically a grinder with an eccentric orbit, a rapid stock removal, and because of all the pads, accessories, and polishes, it also becomes a polisher. And we've done so many videos about polishing, right, Minnie? We even, with the RO90, we referenced it last week. But with the Rotex, as I take this, put it together again, now with the Rotex, I always leave the sander all the way up. I mean the dust extractor. And I'll show you. I'll turn it back up, full power. But look, this is the random orbit, the small dots. And the big dots, there's a pin that just drops in there, and this is a rapid stock remover. Now, I've done this demonstration for you before when I talked about the Rotex family of sanders. But what if I didn't, and I'm going to show you right here. See this little green tab? That breaks that away. So what if I don't have dust extraction in the Rotex? Check this out. Okay, so hopefully you can see that coming through. That dust is flying up, and guess what? Excuse me. That wasn't planned, by the way. Okay. It sounded good though, did it?
Yeah.
God, he's a crazy guy. Okay, so breathing dust is not good. So the dust extractor captures it at its source. But also, let's save some money. That's starting to gum up. Look at that. Okay, but that's starting to gum up. That'll glaze with a little bit more friction. But I want to maximize my what? My consumable, my paper. And you'll see a dust extractor is so needed with the Festool system. So don't, make sure you see the entire picture. How do they say that, Minnie? Don't see the, for the forest, for the trees, right? Always look overall at everything. So the two that will put you in the right spot is I always will recommend a CT26 or a CT MIDI. And the difference between the two, yes, it's 7 CFM difference, but the real, is it 7? Or 3 or 4, whatever, but the difference is the capacity of how much it holds. This is 3.5, and this is roughly 7 gallons of capacity. There's a bag, but they're also both HEPA filtrated. This one has enabled Bluetooth on it, okay? Where this one, it's a module you have to purchase, okay? But some people don't need Bluetooth, so I'll tell you what, I love Bluetooth, it works great. Okay, so hopefully, and by the way, when I'm going through this, This is all documented. What I have here are the tools that people start with, that people tell us. Right, men?
Yep.
Okay, so sometimes I want to say, hey, you need this, 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 and this. Okay, now, what is it, 4 or 5 episodes ago, I went, hey, what's needed for the cabinet maker? Do you have to get it all at once? No. And that's what I'm getting at. Start with a tool and a dust extractor, and then work your system from there. Okay, now, let's hook this up. And this is where I start a different angle to this, my first Festool. I'm gonna take this out, I'm gonna bring it over here, and Chris has already alluded to this. When he got Big Bill a cordless track saw. Okay, I'm gonna hook this up and make a cut. And I was in Canada once, and someone was looking for their first Festool because they wanted to switch over. He had a cabinet shop and he wanted to switch everything over. And when you go to a demonstration with say, a Festool experience, a lot of the times the guys are cutting right here with the MFT. They have their stops set and everything. And this gentleman came up to me, and as I was making a cut, making sure I set that depth properly so I'm not cutting through the table like I usually do. Cut all the way through, that's why. Okay? He was looking at me and he says, okay, so let's do the math. And I go, okay. He goes, I want to get the track saw and I want to get a dust extractor, but I don't need the table. And I went, wait a minute. You don't have to have the table. And he goes, what do you mean? I go, well, this is just a nice to have. And I know people who buy the MFT in their first Festool purchase, but get a rail with it. And we have the packages with the rails and the saws. And that's where he went, oh, this is his thinking was, I need these 3 things. And you don't. You could start with a track saw, okay? And you can make that cut just like this. Okay, now, what if, and this is why I broke it out, you get a cordless track saw and you get the bag. Let me take that off just so you can see. This is a what cut? I think this is 300 millimeter. I'm gonna empty this out. Okay, and I want you, Chris, I'm gonna have you shoot at an angle here. And yep, it's 300 millimeter. And I'm just gonna make a quick cut. Now, you could buy just the cordless track saw. It comes with the bag. Okay, you can, and here's where I'm gonna really coach you on this, because you need portability. All right, I'm gonna make the cut. Okay, like this. Whoop, make sure I said I was cutting ½ inch earlier the other day. Make sure my dust extraction is down. And I'm gonna make the cut. Do you see a lot of dust? No. So, yes, a lot of people get a cordless track saw because they have a CT already, and it hooks up to what? Your CT. But boy, this is total freedom, isn't it? You get a cordless track saw, and look at the dust. Chris, come over here so we can see this. That is just one cut, okay? 300 millimeters or roughly 12 inches. So it's an effective dust collection bag system. And now, it's the start of your cordless system from Festool. 2 batteries and a charger. We package them right. You can get them without it. You can get them with it. But that's what you got to consider. Awesome. So I wanted to make sure you understood that. Total freedom. And you don't have to complicate things. So, now, I know a ton of people that started with this, the domino. Okay, but I will coach you on something. The domino, you need dust extraction with it. In other words, as this bit is oscillating back and forth, it's going into a mortise. Let me pull this apart. Okay, and that dust that's in there, or that chip that's in there, you keep mortising it, or you keep what? routing it, chopping it apart, and it dulls the bits a lot quicker. So I will always coach somebody, make sure you have a dust extractor hooked up to the domino. All right, and we've done a ton of domino episodes. You can go see all of them. They're all on the Festool USA YouTube channel under the live tab. Okay, but one more thing I will recommend. The domino, Chris, I'm gonna pull this out, okay? By the way, I just got a brand new domino. Oh, no, let's go. Rocky, you scared me, man. Okay, okay, woo, okay. The domino, hey, wait a minute, Chris. Do you see any cutters in here?
Not really.
Wait a minute, Chris. You see any dominoes in here?
I do not.
Okay, good.
I do not.
It comes with only one cutter. It's installed on here. It's a 5mm. Okay, and it comes with no dominoes. So you gotta get dominoes. You can get them in small packages, but what I always recommend when somebody's looking for a domino, make sure you get this kit right here. Look, you got the 4s, the 5s, the 6s, the 8s, and the 10s, and guess what you get? All the cutters. So that is what I'll always recommend. If you're looking for the domino joint of the 500, get it. Chris, did you put this in the description?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. Okay, there's one more thing over here I want you to consider. I mentioned the CT26, the CT MIDI I, right? But we have something under here. New last year was the CTC. Hey, when you see C on there, it usually means what? Cordless. So guess what? Now you can go and get a cordless dust extractor. So if you get a cordless extractor, so like Big Bill did, okay, you can get, now you have 2 batteries for this, okay? So now you're building your cordless Festool system. You gotta look at that, right? Now, I'm gonna go back to the track saw. We mentioned this when we talked about the TS60, the newest of them. We get a little more depth of cut versus the 55, the regular 55, both corded. You save, I think here in the States, about $200. Okay, and you can see that on the Festool Live when I compared all of them at Hatfield Tool last year, November, choosing the right track saw. Okay, cool. Whew. Now, here's where hey, Minnie, I'm saving the big crescendo for the end.
Is that where you tell them that the dust extractor makes a difference between inside and outside?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yep. So Minnie just made a great point. The dust extractor this time of year is really important because you can work inside the house versus in the garage or outside. Good, Minnie. You're unbelievable. You really are. You really are. Okay. Oh, so next. And I haven't had this much fun in years. I'm just kidding. Okay. I am blown away sometimes when I find out my first Festool, people come up to me and say, was the CXS. Not this version, but the older versions. And I go, why did you get it? And they said, it is so lightweight. It's so comfortable. The ergonomics are perfect on this. And it is very powerful. It's a 10.8 battery. We call it the CXS 12. And it is my go-to drill. But we came out with the CXS 18. And here's the point I'm going to make for everybody out there. The platform, and you'll see more next week, going forward is the we started a few years ago, the 18-volt platform. At one time we had, oh my God, if Rick's watching, she's shaking his head. We had the CXS 10.8. We had the T and C 15. Oh my goodness, they were great. I still have those at home. And then we came out with the C and T 18. Then we got rid of the 15, and I think it was 15.6 volt system. We got rid of those. And then we just had CXS 10.8, and that's what we have today. And we have the C18. But going forward, if you look at it, I just showed you. Look, we have the what? CTC MIDI. We have the new KSC 60. What? Cordless K-Packs. So if you're gonna get this, I would always recommend this because now you have batteries and it's an 18-volt system. And I'll tell you what, they're both very lightweight, or light in weight, and you'll get a lot of screws and a lot of holes out of this. The nice thing about the new CXS12, it does work with the 18-volt charger. And that little extra weight means a lot if you're installing a lot of hardware on the job site and maybe in the kitchen install. But the nice thing is the CXS12, okay, takes all the chucks. Now, every right angle, 3/8 socket adapter, the eccentric chuck, the drywall chuck, the depth set chuck, and it goes on and on and on. So this is a confusing subject right now because you have now a 2.5 amp hour battery, okay, and when you put that on, the 18-volt charger, yeah, but you have another battery platform. This is the platform going forward for the Festool system, and you're going to be shocked in the coming years all the wicked cordless tools we got coming out. But think about it, this is the one that works with what? The Sustainer saw. So I just wanted to wrap your head around that. If you're choosing between the CXS12 or the CXS18 or the TXS18, oh my God, I get confused sometimes. Think about going forward for your building of your system, okay? Wow. Chris, did I cover everything?
You did.
Boy, he wrote that script today. It was great. Thanks,
Yeah,
unit.
Sure did.
Okay, we got something special planned. I just want to thank everybody that I met and they introduced themselves last week. We had the woodworking shows here in Indianapolis. It was fantastic. But boy, as I look at the board, I am smiling. Because there's people on the board that walked up and said, "Hi, Doug from Scienceville. How you doing, Doug?" Hopefully I gave your information to Andre, who's probably not watching because he's probably in surgery, but you know what? It's cool. Okay, wow, let's look at it. Chris, come over here.
So many more.
Wow, look at this. You guys, thank you so much for helping us out. But boy, a lot of track saws, dominoes, sanders, CTs, whoa, a Capex. Mini says there's a lot more. Look, woo, couple on the MFT3. Wow, that's awesome.
Somebody has the flat bandsaw, whatever thing it is, sander.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sander, that's what it is.
Oh, wow, that's cool, man.
Yeah, so we do have people everywhere.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to call off the board. We're looking good. But, boy, I got something at that woodworking shows last week where I feel so honored, and I'm going to show you in a few minutes. Okay, so let's call everybody out. We have Joe from Waseca, Illinois. Ray from Pensacola. There's Doug from Zionsville. Doug, woo! Michelle from Paris. Mike Martinez from Austin. Christopher from Malta. Someday, Christopher, our paths will cross, I promise. Paul, Cheryl, Sam from Anthem, Arizona. Big Island Ed. Jacob from Rhode Island. Michael from Edmonton, Alberta. Edric from Citrus Heights, California. Andrew from Toledo, Ohio. And yes, this is the special moment. It's him. It's Dirk. Come in, Chris. I got a Dirk from Dayton sticker. Woo! Look at that. He gave me a sticker. Dirk is official. What a rock star you are. Okay, we have Rick from sunny Blackpool, UK. Des from Harrogate, England. Bermuda Steve. Jason and Yana from Granite Falls, Washington. Russ from Chichester. Hey, Russ, was that the Alps you were in? I was watching your Instagram feed, dude. That was beautiful, man. Oh, Dan from Kingman, Arizona. Woodcraft, Dayton. Jason from Fenton, Michigan. Petri from Jolarvi, Finland. Robert from Phillipsburg, New Jersey. Phillipsburg, New Jersey. It's his first time watching live? No way. Welcome to the club. Peter from Denmark, or the Netherlands. We have Soren from Denmark. We have a great group of people in Denmark. Mark from Woodcraft, Springfield, Virginia. Nate, Chris, Mikey, and Mike. Woo! Chris Bellamy from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Gary from Beers with the Boys. Aluta from Cave Junction, Oregon. That sounds like a cool place. Cave Junction. It's where caves come and meet at a junction.
You just wait.
Woo! We have Dominic from Dedham, Mass. Mark from Los Angeles, California. Leo from Holland. Peter Harley, how you doing, Peter? Matt from Tinley Parkula, Noise. Jurgen from Delft, Netherlands. Okay, so this is another special time. We have Jordan Lance, Chris, and the Woodcraft Milwaukee Watch Party. Woo! How you guys doing? We have Eric from Columbus, Ohio. Dragon from Serbia. Steve Z from Sweden. Bahama Brian, how you doing, Mr. St. John Moss? Woo! Dale from Swaterlincote, England. Johnny Hoffman, Estates, Illinois. Tom from Skull Valley. It's where all the skulls were found in the valley. That's in Arizona. We have Rob from South Devon, England. Johnny O from Atco, New Jersey. Tilo from Linguinda, North Wales. Ken from Granite Bay, California. Gerald from Derrida, Louisiana. Michael from Wolf Village, Poland. It's where all the wolves came and hung out, so they called it Wolf Village.
You are so good with geography.
Thanks, Min. We have Mark from Anaheim, California. Jerry G from Sugar Grove, Illinois. Tom and Kelly from Eatonton, Georgia. Mr. Blake Weber from Novato, California. Willie the Spartrician. Carrie from Dallas. Wow. There's a lot of people here, man.
Yes.
Okay, we have Brent from Louisville, Kentucky. Dick from Katy, Texas. Ronnie Fulton from KY, which means Kentucky. We have Paul from Reading, Berkshire, UK. Joe from Akron, Ohio. That's Joe V, baby, main man. We have Dave from Georgetown, Ontario. The other Warren from Idaho. John from West Valley, Virginia. Kurt from Rochester, Michigan. Yeah, Michigan. Fish and what many is that?
Doogie.
Fish and Doogie from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The name is Fish?
Yes.
Okay, good. Apo from Aaka, Finland. We have Gail from Eden, New York. We have Rawingo from Springfield, Ohio. Jeff from Clarksburg, Maryland. Kenneth from Oak Park, Illinois. Scott from Greeley, Colorado. David Gwen, it's her. Miss Accent from West Virginia. Ant, my main man, Ant from Fontana. That's in California, eh? Yazoo from Paramaribo, Suriname. Jeff from Cincinnati. Abba Carpentry from the UK. I got good songs too. Okay. Jason from Puyallup, Washington. Matt from Newark, Ohio. We have John from Peasleyville, New York. Terry from SLC. Oh, that's short for Salt Lake City, Utah. We have SS from UK. Is that SS, Minnie? Or is that from UK? SS.
Yeah, SS.
SS from the UK. Stephen from Dublin, Ireland. Joe from Akron, Ohio. Robbie Juan Kenobi from Corinth, Texas. Eric from Huntsville, Alabama. Mac from Quintman, Louisiana. Enrique and Zolo from Sweden. Devante from Mississauga, Ontario. Derek from York, PA. Artem from Markham, Ontario. John from Hoffman Estates, Illinois. Roll from the Netherlands. That's my main man, Roll. David from Southwest France. Jerry from Naples, Florida. Eric from Ontario. Matt from Florida. Or is that Florida?
Duh.
Duh. That's an O, that's an A. No, that's Florida. Don from Hoosick Falls, New York. Jean Guy from Quebec. Stefan from Germany. Salim from Federal Way, Washington. Sandy from Maryland. Jake from India. Have we had India before, Min?
We have.
Give from Ohio. How are you doing, pal? We have Mark from the Netherlands. Warren from Batavia. Mike from Raleigh, North Carolina. We have Trappist. Hey, is that my main man, Trappist?
That's the one.
Woo! Is he in the Advance or Crawfordsville?
Jamestown.
Jamestown. Trappist from Jamestown. Mitchell from LA, California. We have Willie from Freeville, Ohio. We have Hunvikingen from Norway. Is that the first time Norway?
Yes.
Oh, Welcome, Norway. Okay, we have Danielle from Switzerland. Okay. How'd that come through on the camera?
Great.
Oh, yeah, I imagine. We have Johan from Holland. We have Dawn from Cedar Rapids. We have Big Double Dizzle from Arkansas. We have the Warped Woodsman, and I know they're from Oregon. Francis from Quebec. ESPN Mike from California. We have the new dealer, Jake Whittings Paint from Auburn, New York. Welcome aboard. We have Jeff, my main man, Covey. How you doing, Jeff? We have Sam from New York. We have Randy from Georgia. We have Dave from Australia. We have LTX from Austin, Texas. Is that LTX?
Yes, it's a design company.
It's a design company in Austin, Texas. How you doing, LTX? We have Mike Welbeck from Saw. No, Mike from... We have Mike from Welbeck Saw.
My bad.
No, that's awesome, Minnie. We have Mike from Ohio and Mike from Colorado. Wow, that was a...
Say this guy?
Yeah, we have the new dealer. His name is Jake Whittings Paint from Auburn, New York.
Sorry, I missed it.
It's okay. I like to repeat myself, obviously. Okay.
One more thing. John from West Fairleigh, Virginia, actually lives in Vermont.
Oh,
Sorry,
so John from West Fairleigh, Vermont, not Virginia. So there you go. Woo! Awesome. How we doing? Good?
I'm good.
Wow, that's gonna be a wrap in a second or so, because I gotta tell you something. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. I actually saw the sun this morning, huh? Hey, Christine, we saw the sun. But now it's cloudy. It's Indiana. And I think it's because of Puxatawny Phil. But remember, Rocky saw the domino. So we're going to have a shorter spring.
What were you saving for last? It was so nice. There were so many people that I couldn't keep track of you and them too.
No, I did. I did the Dirk from Dayton
Dirk from
sticker.
Dayton. Okay.
Oh my goodness. I could not believe I got his sticker. He is wicked famous.
Amazing.
Amazing. Hey, everybody watching, thanks. Jordan, I think this is the first watch party from the Woodcraft in Milwaukee. And we thank you. Hopefully you've had a couple people extra there hanging out. Everybody, thank you. We love you. Have a safe weekend. We'll see you next Friday. Same Festool Live time. Same Festool Live Training Center.
Yay!
Woo, baby. Have a great weekend. That would be the wrap now.